Hey everybody, Mishmash Moto here. We're going to do the fuel jets on the carburetor today for the XR150L, and let's get started. And turn the bike around so y'all can see a little bit better. What I'm doing is pulling the cover off the carburetor. It's just one Phillips screw right there. Alright, so now you have your heater to disconnect. You've got one plug here, it slides straight back. Same with this one, it pulls straight back. That's what it looks like inside. And what this is actually a heater. It comes on at 45 degrees. So if it's at or below 45 degrees, that heater will come on and help you with a little fuel flow. Loosen this one, get it where it'll come off of there. I don't know if I can do this without pulling the fuel tank or not, but I'm gonna try. Yep, I think so. Get that tucked away. Squeeze your little clips together, they're kind of tricky. That one I believe I can pull off. That's just your drain or overflow. There's the part number for the carburetor if anybody ever needs it. So it's easier to detach the carburetor from the fuel petcock right here. And you've got your vent lines right here. Don't get these mixed up, by the way. Pull that one off. And then the other one is right here. There we go. So just so you know, this one right here that goes right there. The one that goes right here is the one that drains down to the bottom. Put my clamp back on my fuel line. Try to do this one-handed. Yep. If you twist it as you come out, it works a little bit better. Oops, drop my wrench. See if I can get my nut out of the little hole there so I don't lose it. Kind of hard to do one-handed. surgery went well and we got that taken care of. All right, off to the other side. Okay, and I believe that's everything we need to try to slip it out of there. Now you just slide it straight back and off. Kind of get it around your boot here. And carburetor is off. That's all that there is to getting it off of there. So I'll get over to my workbench and show you how to crack it apart and change the jets. All right, so we got our carburetor off, and I drained the fuel out of it already by undoing this screw here, and it runs out there. Just hold it upright, loosen the screw, it'll all drain out. There's 3 screws that hold your carburetor bowl on. I work in a pan like this when I'm working on carburetors because it's easy to lose little parts. Okay, you pull your 3 screws off, hold it upside down like this. Your bowl will come straight off like that. Make sure it's clean inside. If there's any trash, clean it out. This right here is your main fuel jet. This is the one that we're gonna change. This one is your pilot jet. We're gonna leave it alone for now. The notch right here is facing back towards your float pin right there. This is your needle and seat right here. Do not remove the plug, a Welch plug they call it. Typically there is a air fuel screw in here. There is not on this particular carburetor. A lot of people will remove these plugs and then you have access to the screw. There is not a screw in this carburetor. Other people have pulled it out and found out the hard way, so don't do that. This right here is your fuel, I'm sorry, not a fuel heater, carburetor heater. Comes on at 45 degrees. Stock main jet is a 105. Mine's spun, so I'm going to take that off. This is your emulsion tube. It doesn't always come out. Typically it doesn't. Mine was a little loose apparently, so I need to grab a socket and put it on there. I believe that's 7mm. I'll verify that. It is a 7mm. I couldn't find my 7mm deep to come in on the back side right off, so I'm just using a crescent wrench. All right, stock jet again is a 105. I'm replacing mine with a 115. Drop it back in. And tighten them both up at one time with this. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you want it good and snug. Put your little plastic cap back on. Again, a lot of times On a lot of carburetors, these will be faced that direction. But on this carburetor, from the factory, they come like that. So that's the way it's going back. I want to ease this down and put your screws back in. Tighten everything back up and reinstall it. Get all your screws started first. I'll loosely snug them down and then come back and tighten them up. One, two, three. That's it. She's ready to reinstall. Trying to do it without scratching up my exhaust too bad. Oh, there we go. That was the magic trick. Okay. Get my hands right. Operate in here. Carburetor top was in the way there. All right. I'll go ahead and see if I can get this back on. There it goes. Make sure that piece is on really good. This is your idle set screw right here. It screws into this ramp. So if you're on the right side where your idle set screw is, you can find the ramp. There's going to be a thin split that's kind of a guide for the left side. So turn it like that and get it fished back in there. It's not super easy, but just be slow and easy and careful. Or pull your fuel tank off, it's up to you. Drops down in. You want to be extra careful when you're starting your threads on this top piece. Do not cross thread it. Make sure it starts nice and easy and runs down nice and smooth like that. Get it snug. Check to make sure you have good throttle operation. And now I'm just going to put the two nuts and everything back on and tighten all this back up. All right, on the right hand side, this is your wire tab that you had to bend out of the way. It just goes upright like that. You just kind of get it vertical there. You'll snug your nut down, get it tight. We'll go ahead and pop these on. Again, the black boot pushes on. And your ground wire just slides on like that. Bend it back down just like that. We'll go put the nut on the other side. This one's a little hard to get started, but I got lucky and got it right on. That one's good. So now what we're gonna do is reconnect our vacuum lines. This one goes up here at the top. Get that one on. And then this drain tube slides on right there. And then our fuel line goes right back on the petcock. Okay. All right. So I got to put the drain line back on. It's a little tricky. See if I can slide it up with my pliers. There we go. Back on. So carburetor is done with the exception of tightening this clamp back up. Make sure it's on good. Got that tight. And now we just have our cover. The hole goes right over your idle adjustment screw. Okay, and that's it. Let's see how she starts. Turn the fuel back on. Give it a second for the carb bowl to fill up. Seems to run pretty good. We'll have to put it back together and take it for a ride and we'll see what we got. I just did a plug chop and pushed the bike in. So now we're going to see what this plug looks like. Put a glove on so I don't burn my fingers. Okay. It's hot. Get it where you can see it there. So that's the plug. It's looking pretty good. I'll have to get a magnifying glass and look down in there, see what I can see on a fuel line, but I'm thinking that's going to be just about right. I think any more fuel is going to be too much fuel. I think that 115 jet's going to be just perfect. Everything looks good to me. Okay, I wanted to see how the bike starts after my plug chop. Let's see, I gotta turn my ignition back on. Runs good, no smoke. Might be idled up slightly. Might need to turn my idle down just a hair. Let's just do that right now. I That sounds about right. No hesitation. I think I'm happy with that.